All right, everyone. Thanks for your patience. There's a short break. I'm Manix86. I'll be commentating Polytopes Mega Man 9 80% run. It is the last Mega Man game, so let's have some hype in the chat for this awesome Mega Man block. So as you can see, Polytopes starts on the boss selection screen. And the reason for that is various versions of the game have a different starting screen. So for equal runs, we decided to start on boss select. And he'll start with Concrete when he's ready. So a couple of mechanics about this game before we get started is much like the original versions of the game, you cannot slide, you cannot charge. And this game is also extremely well coded, so you'll see a few exploits, but very minor ones. But if you're a fan of glitchless runs, and also listen to this tune at the start. Doesn't right. Shoutouts to Woodman. So Polly here is going to start going through these birds with rocks. It can be a really difficult screen to go through, but they are timed, so he is going to be just fine. And this game starts pretty rough. There's a test of might coming up, which are the elephants. They take 15 shots each, so there's 45 shots here that he's going to pump in about 10-15 seconds. Polytopes is an extremely good masher, so he has no problem here. Really great job not taking damage there. Sorry, 1 sec. I apologize if I do hiccups at times. My stream audio videos sometimes disappear, but as long as you guys can bear with me, I will make it through. Alright, we're back past the waterfalls. Okay, 1 sec. Where are you, video? Hi, video. Okay, we're at the falling platforms. Nothing special there. We're gonna get into the boss room now. Guys, I'm gonna have to mute for a sec because I am not getting any bit on the commentary. I apologize. I will try to fix that as soon as possible. So we're aware of the issue and we're going to try to resolve it. Sorry in advance, guys. So I hope that fight in Concrete was great. I'm sure it was. Second, we go to Magma. Now, the Magma stage is one of the gatekeepers of this game. What often happens in Magma is there's these pillars that you can freeze with the concrete shot that we got in the first stage. And you'll be using that to do some mini zips, which will be really cool. We'll see that in a moment. So this is like the most tech you will see probably in a single stage in terms of little glitches. When he shoots those concrete shots, he can press the jump button while they're forming while he's inside to be able to do some zips. Some very small ones. Here he's going to deboost through these beams. Good job, and grab that refill because concrete shot is the big utility weapon of this game. We'll see it a lot. Coming up is another test. He's going to try to one jump this dragon. Oh, missed it. Gonna grab him on the way back. No worries. So he takes 5 shots of concrete, which are a very, very short window to mash them in. Here it's a pretty trivial section, just walk through. And coming up is what I was talking about in the beginning of this stage, where there's about 8 or so beams that he's going to freeze. I find this section really cool to look at. I'm going to skip the last one there. Probably didn't have the right timing, it happens. Gonna freeze the last one. Shoutouts for him telling me that he won't, but he did. Alright. Magma. So Magma is fought with the Buster. It's actually faster in the routing to fight him with Buster here as the second Robot Master. So he's going to try to pump 2 to 3 shots per jump. So Magma is scripted to do either a double jump or a single jump. If he does a single jump, you have to react pretty quickly to walk underneath him. There we go, pretty good fight. Got hit once, I believe. Not a big deal. We're out. So now we get the Magma Bazooka. The Magma Bazooka shoots in 3 ways, so that's one utility of it. But it can also be charged. And the cool thing about the charge shot is if you're close enough to an enemy, if the 3 shots hit the enemy, it's actually going to do 3 times the damage. So he's going to abuse that in this level for the boss. We're going to Hornet. You can go Hornet or Jewel. Hornet third is the marathon safety, so because you can get the B for a section or later if you make a mistake. In terms of speed, it is the same. So fun fact about Hornet is Hornet Man was supposed to be Honeybee originally in the original design of this game, and Splash Woman was supposed to be, I believe, is Splash Man. But after some consideration by the team, they switched it around. But you can still see Honeybee on certain comics, I believe. So he got a great flower there, so you want the flower to be top left or top right so you can spam some concretes into it. Great job there. Recently discovered by some players that you can mitigate some of the RNG of spawning them. Really cool section of concrete coming up, so he'll abuse walking through stuff while the concrete is forming, and he's going to use one more here to make it flat to avoid climbing the ladder. Right. So coming up is the Hornet fight. So I was talking about triple shots here, so he's going to clear some small bees in front of Hornet Man, and then he's going to get him close to do these triple charge shots. 1, 2, 3. Bam, just like that. So one thing that is different of this game compared to many is when you defeat a Robot Master, there's a chip that flies up. And if you miss it, sometimes it flies up in the air and you have to wait till it comes down. So good job by Poly to be right on top of the chip and finish the stage as soon as possible. Now we get Hornet Chaser. It's kind of like a homing missile. Doesn't do a whole ton of damage, but it is useful in certain parts of the game. Here we go to Galaxy. Personally, my favorite song of the game, probably the best soundtrack of Mega Man overall, in my opinion, but obviously there's a lot of good candidates there, but I think all songs are really good in this game. So the cool thing about this stage is it's meant to be a very long horizontal level for the most part, which it's walking Mega, so it can feel redundant, but they added some really cool stuff like portals and enemies that grab you, that make you ride the wind, which we're going to see right now. So we're actually going to abuse that. Shoutouts to devs helping speedrunners walk faster. So they're meant to pull you in the hole, but we know how to jump. We learned that in the first stage. So we're already halfway into the stage, probably not wasting a beat. Here are these predetermined teleports. Probably know exactly which one to take. These little eyes are no trouble. They do separate when you kill them. We're gonna kill, I believe, one in the... There you go. So here's another cool section here. You can see where the little guy falls. And normally he was going to grab you and is meant to pull you in the spikes, but This is why we go to Hornet. So if you get captured there, you can use the Hornet to kill the enemy above you because it harms. And here's one where he rides, does specifically hit jumps, key boost into the portal, and freezes the last enemies. Oh, missed it a little bit. So if he does it correctly there, he can freeze both enemies with 2 concrete shots, and one of them will stick to the wall for him to land on and not have to come back. But that wasn't battle. So now we're hoping for low swoop. So Galaxy can go low or high. You got 1 low and 1 high there. That's about average. You obviously don't want him to go high because you can't shoot that. Good job. And just like that, we get the black hole weapon, which is like a portal that you shoot once and it moves slowly, and you can press once more to activate it. And it'll suck everything in that's around. And we'll be using that on bosses, and we'll also be using it in the stage near the end. Jewel, also a great song. I'm going to be saying that a lot. So let's see if this is a diamond in a rough or a run. I don't know. I don't have a lot of puns, guys, but let's just say that was one of them. So this stage is actually one of the harder stages to learn in the beginning. These buster shots are a lot more time than it seems to be able to basically stop and go. Especially this one cannon here, 6 shots in a very short walk. Here's the showcase of the Hornet, which will aim onto the spiders and clear the path without having to stop. And we got these cool swings here. If you go back and forth on them, you can rock them. We only need to rock one of them, the third one here. And then we got the cheese ball mini boss. So we're going to use the Hornets to hit him at the top, get him out, use the bazooka to kill him. You got the worst spawn here. You want him to spawn furthest to the right possible. That was the worst RNG you could have had. These little guys are annoying. All little flying things. We talked about birds earlier. This is one of the birds of the game. They're annoying. Coming up is a really cool swing. So normally the game intends you to swing back and forth. But I was going to do a neat little movement trick to just kick it to the side. That looks really cool. And here we go with the black hole bomb. So we're just going to grab all these spiders in there, get them out of the way. And coming up is the Jewel fight. So the cool thing about Jewel is he's fully manipulable. When you jump, he jumps. So Paul's going to intentionally jump himself to force him to move in a specific sequence to get hit to every black hole as much as possible. And finish in the center. Great job. That fight is scripted, but that was a very good. It is possible to kill him. If you miss him, he's going to tap the wall and come back. He killed him before tapping. Awesome. Cruising through this game. Now we got the Jewel satellite, which is kind of like your Woodman shield equivalent. You can put it around you and shoot it. We're going to use that a little bit later. We're going to Splash Woman, which has an awesome underwater song. I hope you guys enjoy it. So obviously the water physics are going to affect us here. So when he's going to use that momentum actually to jump out and in the water in some places to increase your momentum when you're falling. So that's why you see him do these little corner jumps. So this stage is not too difficult overall. The second half, though, has a lot of... We're introducing Rush Jet, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it here. So Rush Jet in this game, when you shoot him, he will spawn as soon as he reaches the same height as Mega Man. So Polytopes is going to use that to his advantage to jump in the air and reach halfway with Rush. And he's going to use the Rush Jet here to skip the bubbles section, which reminds you of Mega Man 5 a little bit. Going to do a neat trick here where he's going to stay on this little bubble and do a spike jump very close to the spike. Good job. Very fun trick to learn. And here's where you're going to see the real use of Rush Jet here. He's going to skip a lot of these platforms. If he times his jump properly, he can get rush on the full height. Just missed it there. No worries, there's plenty of backups. So that takes a little bit of getting used to time your jump with your rush. Alright, we're already at the end of the stage. We're going to switch to Hornet Chaser, which is the Splash Woman's weakness. So basically, Splash Woman will release these little fishies and swing back and forth, and we want to try to hit the bees to target on her with specific movement instead of the fishies. Really good fight there. Oh, just the last bee just said, nope, I'm going for a swim. Because bees can swim. So you want to kill her on the left side. She got to travel to the right and live a little bit longer. No big deal. Alright, so we got 2 stages left, and I think they're 2 of the most difficult ones to learn. So Plugman stage is coming up next. And in Plugman there are some Yoku blocks, and the particular thing about the Yoku blocks in this version is they're all global cycled. So the moment that the stage starts, they start appearing and disappearing, even if you don't see them. So this is going to require perfect movement from polytopes with no mistakes to get the one cycle. Okay, he did get hit there, so he's going to have to work something else different. So it's a very, very difficult stage to learn in the beginning. We'll see them here. If he's lucky, they'll be appearing just as he gets there. There we go. So that was a favorable appearance, so you didn't have to wait or use Rush Jet to get through. They kind of just said, hey, I'm just going to wait for you. It's no big deal, dude. It's a marathon. Just going to use the jet here to get past this section. So the whole Rush Jet ammo is calculated. He's going to have literally 1 tick or 0 at the end. Shoutouts to the one of the 2 E-tanks in the game there that isn't in a shop. Oh, he's not going to take it. I believe some good players opt to take the E-tank. He's choosing to go ham, as I like to say. Got a small refill here. No big deal. Just going to use Rush Jet here to jump through this section. Use it again here to avoid these sparks. And here's the Big Mama. Yeah, he got a low jump, so he did the Big Mama jump. So you have a few frames there where you can jump over Big Mama instead of having to kill her. Good job. So here has got exact ammo, so he's gonna make sure not to get some shots in the iframes. He missed one there, a little too quick. Gonna switch to Magma. We talked about how Magma can do more than 1 damage from up close. So even though each shot only does 1 damage, he can hit them for 2 or 3 damage close enough. So that's often what the players will switch to if they mess up with weapon usage. They'll switch to Magma for like the Buster of Bosses. Buster of Boss. Sounds good. Alright, speaking of global cycles and Yokus, we have another global cycle thing going on here. Tornado stage. So there's these little, I call them flying batteries, but there's little batteries, like magnetic batteries that you can jump on. They also start moving back and forth as soon as the stage starts. So he's going to use some very specific rush placement here to get up here as quick as possible to get the first cycle to go to the top right. It's looking good. We'll see. Can he jump on this battery? Oh, no, he's going the safe route. He tricked us all. He could have jumped on that battery and saved like 0.3 seconds by doing some really cool stuff, but this is fine. He's just going to take a refill for Rush Jet in a second here. There we go. So Rush Jet is really important here because we're coming up to some rain sections, and if you're used to Toadman stages, rain is slow when it's against you. Utilizing Rush to cruise past sections. Really cool section here with the Met and the Joe. One of my favorite screens. It's difficult, but I just find it looks cool. There we go, no problem. So here's the rain section. So because he used rush on the first section, he's gonna have to walk some of this and cast rush near the end. Here we go. These batteries here, when you jump, you don't clear a lot of height because of the counter aim. A lot of players tend to die there because you think you can make the jump and then you can't. Now here's the cool part with the rain. If it's with you, then you jump twice as far. So now we're gonna see some jumping. There we go, some swag sparks. So the spark does carry around the stage, and this is gonna be useful against Tornado here. He's going to either spawn low, medium, or high. We want him to stay low. Got the medium, which is the worst. All he has to jump up with that. Good job adapting. So he got the worst pattern there, unfortunately. Just like that, we're done the 8 robos, guys. So the Tornado is actually a pretty cool weapon. So it does damage to everything on the screen and also gets rid of it. Sort of like the gravity in Mega Man 5 that Mega showed us earlier. But it also makes you more lightweight and you can jump higher and stuff. So we'll be using that weapon in certain sections. So what's Dr. Wily's favorite console? He's telling you, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U. His favorite. I like the shoutouts to the classic Mega Man 2 Wily cast. So here we go with Wily One. So we're going to see much of the birds that we've seen on concrete here. Gonna do specific buster kills here. This is a lot more precise than it may have looked. But those birds spawn at specific intervals as you kill them, so we made sure of that. Here, the game intends you to use Tornado to make these platforms lift, but we don't need that. We got the best dog in the world. We're just gonna jet on our way through. And coming up is gonna be a little bit of enemies, and then we'll have another dragon like we saw in Magma. We'll see how some players opt to kill him with jet here, some players opt to jump up. Okay, we're going with see the jump, so there's really cool. So you can jump up there with rush and meet up with the dragon and kill him, which we couldn't do in the first fight because we didn't have rush at the time. Now this section is really difficult. These rush placements are extremely precise. Any mistake here is a beam to the face. No beams to the face. Good job, Beams to the face are not fun. Those are one-shot kill beams, by the way. Kind of like the Quick Man beams from Mega Man 2. I find like there's a lot of references to Mega Man 2 in this game in some ways. Like the concrete level, shoutouts to Woodman and stuff like that, and the Wily Castle. And those killer beams. Coming up is everybody's favorite boss. I don't even remember his name, that's how much I like him. Spike Pushers. So you have these 4 spikes that you have to mash some shots in to hit the enemies at the end. That's the only way you can do damage to it once the spike makes contact. So it looks like you need to mash intensely, but it's actually rhythmic mashing, so he's going to try to keep it linked. If he mashes too fast, it's actually not going to push it as well. I'm going to switch to Spark here. Spark pushes it a little bit easier. It's a strat that some players employ, some opt to stay on Buster, some opt to use Tornado to hit 4 at the same time. There we go, one more, boom, and we're out. Yeah, that boss is not fun. I don't know why Capcom said, hey, this would be cool if... Alright. Wily 3 is kind of a quirky stage. Or Wily 2, sorry. Wily 3. What am I saying? Wily 2. I knew this was Wily 2. Guys, don't listen to me. This is not only the best song of the game, it is one of the cooler stages of the game. These really neat rush placements here allow him to basically avoid that entire section. And we're going to see some really neat concrete section here freezing enemies also lets you step on them. So I'm just going to let you guys enjoy this next room. Not this one with the Joe, but the next one. I'm going to freeze enemies on the way to use them as platforms. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Hell yeah. Gonna take this jump safely there. That's only a few frames off and you're done. So here we have a bad flower pattern. Polytopes is an extremely good masher that has time to make it there and kill it before it spawns somewhere else. Good job. Got a little bit of water section here. I'm going to be shooting these enemies at specific times to make them float around you. Good job there. And we got some pretty scary jumps coming up. So there's these blocks that you break, but some of the end jumps, it's a spike that right here. Gonna tiptoe it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a scary jump to do in a marathon. Gonna cruise on along here, and this is one of my favorite rush coil sections. So there's an extremely long vertical section here with rush that you can basically skip all of it. Looks really cool. Let's watch. Boom, boom, up. There we go. That would have taken like 3 days to climb for sure. But nope, we're through. So we're going to intentionally take a small bullet hit there to not get hit by the big mama. There's so many big mamas there. Alright, we're coming up to the shark boss. The shark boss has 3 phases, which is his tail, his belly, I guess, and his face. And they're all weak to the trident. So we're going to manage our trident ammo here to do all 3 phases. Good job on the first phase. Now we're going to have to hit tridents on these things on the side without touching the spikes. You can use tornado here if you're new to the game, if you're not good at the wiggles. In this last section, the boss is going to open his mouth and you got to shoot the cannon inside. Now this can be pretty scary. The cannon does 5 or 6 damage if you touch it. Good job. Alright, we're through. That's a really difficult stage. Great job. A lot of players give up on this stage. Alright. So Wily 3 is pretty cool. Wily 3 has some really neat, unique songs, so I will point out the song first. But there's also a new mechanic introduced, which is like a gravity wall, I guess. So you're going to float in the air, and the cool thing about the gravity wall, to call it that way, is if you press left or right, Mega Man doesn't move, so we can dance. Shout out to Polytopes for dancing for you guys. So you have to shoot, and when you shoot, you get moved to the opposite direction. Players love doing this to the tune. So yeah, you got some dancing today. We got some Mega Man, all kinds of good stuff. This is all scripted, by the way, so he knows exactly what's coming up, so he knows exactly where to stand. And here's a little tricky jump here. There's like a mid kind of height jump. We're just going to take a buster to the face from the little enemy. Just walk through those spikes. Now this is one of the harder rooms. I call it the Joe S room. I don't know what their real name is, but if you're really fast here, you can deboost one Joe and through. Good job. You can get stuck in there getting hit left and right and center, and trying to get through there is a pain. Really good job. So we have one more of these little gravity sections, and we're going to grab an M tank at the end of it, which is, fortunately, is in our speedrun way, so we don't have to go out of our way to get it. There it is. So the M tank is going to be used very soon. He's going to use it probably in the beginning of the next stage. So here's the cool thing about Tornado. It wipes everything on the screen, but you've got to watch when he jumps because of the spikes, because while the Tornado's activated, he's going to jump higher. It's going to float him up. Good job there. A lot of players have to stop there. Good job for doing that without stopping. Going to opt to refill here. So coming up is the Twin Devil fight, or the Easy Devil of this game if you wish. We're going to use the Black Hole Bomb, and the cool thing about the Black Hole Bomb is if you pause the menu and unpause, it despawns it and you're able to shoot it again. Normally it's an extremely slow weapon, but Polytopes is going to use this his advantage to try to one cycle this boss. I'll just let you guys watch. 21 seconds. This is this. Too easy. Too easy. Good job, Polly. Hell yeah. One cycle. So he doesn't have a lot of time to react to that. Every shot is timed. He's got to move and pause in between. Good job. Very difficult to do that. It takes a while to practice. And just like that, guys, we're in the refight stage. So, the cool thing that shoutouts to BTFN, who figured out this strat, is that the pattern in which a galaxy, which is the first spot we will fight, whether he gives you low or high swoops, depends on which frame you enter the door of the boss. And he figured out that if you do the exact same movement from the start of the stage to the portal, using a visual cue as well before you enter the portal with the background colors, you see how he intentionally waited there? He was looking for a frame. So we'll see if he gets 2 swoops on Galaxy. It means he's got it. We got 1 swoop. We got 2 swoop. Hell yeah, good job, Polly. So that's a really, really cool strat to know. Like, shoutouts to whoever figured that out, that there's windows of frames that you should enter the door to get a specific pattern. Gotta be careful here. Once again, we have exact ammo for Jewel. No problem this time. Now let's hope for a better. Let's get a Bronado. Let's stay on the ground, Tornado. 1 ground. Okay, we got a mid-high. That's annoying as well. So we didn't get a good Tornado today. Not being nice. So there's a little bit of RNG factors to the game. That's one of them for sure. So now you get to see the weakness on Magma, which is the Tornado Blow. Much faster than Buster Ring Down, as you can see. And we're gonna ironically finishing off with his own weapon. Fire with fire has never been truer. You're gonna see the Hornet fight, which is the exact same one that you've seen the first time. So not much difference into the strategy here. So we saw earlier that he used the black hole bomb. He's got exactly 2 here to do the quick kill, so everything was calculated. One more, boom. This is a really good. He's got to grab the energy when the boss is done to clear it. So good job basically stepping over the boss to finish him. Alright, Splash Woman. That's a left side kill, Splash Woman. That's optimal. Great job. And here we see the power of the Trident. The Trident also can shoot through enemies as well. I forgot to mention that, but it is also Concrete's weapon. I find this weapon is really cool. We're going to keep it here because we need it for the Wily phase. Alright, so there he's going to, first phase, he's going to throw some eggs out of his mouth, and you got to explode them into his mouth. We're going to use the Trident at specific spots on the ground to bounce them back into his mouth. Excellent job. Gonna use the rest of our calculated concrete ammo to get Wily to die. So high pattern is not fun. Missed a couple shots there, so he's gonna have to back up the Magma. As I said earlier, the Magma is a super good backup weapon for any strategy. He's gonna make sure to hit some doubles here, and we'll see if he gets the final phase shot at the top before he spawns. Boom, there we go. So this is Wily Casino. He can spawn up there forever. You want him to obviously spawn low, because sure enough, why give you the weapon with the least reach possible? Time is coming up. Get ready. It's what time? 33, 32. A 33 3x. That was actually an average spawn. So you got a couple top spawns, couple good spawns at the bottom. Good job by Polytopes. This is a really solid run. So there was recently a tournament of this game, and Polytopes was one of the rising Mega Man 9 runners that went really far in that tournament and really pushed the game hard. So to see him get this kind of run here in a marathon with a bunch of threes. Look at that, 33 minutes and 33 seconds and 32 hundredths. He could have waited a frame, but he tried. Seriously, a good jump. I do want to shout out the Mega Man community who just had an awesome vlog. We had, about 10 hours of Mega Man just now. I believe we have Dragon Dart coming up with some Paladin's Quest, so there's lots of good stuff coming up this week. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary and the run, and I'll see you guys all in the chat for what's up. GG, Polytope.